I've used both the Infinix Hot 60i and the Tecno Spark 40 side by side, and I can tell you these two phones are basically twins, same processor, same cameras, same price, but when you look closer, one of them is clearly doing more with what it has. In this video, I'm breaking it all down: design, performance, camera, software, and everything else that actually matters to help you decide which one is actually worth your money. I bought the Tecno Spark 40 for 143,000 naira and the Infinix Hot 60i for 145,000 naira. At this price point, you are not expecting miracles, but you should at least get a phone that handles the basics well, and both of them do, but in different ways. Inside the box, both phones come with generous accessories. You get a 45-watt charger, a USB-C cable, an earpiece, a plastic case, and a SIM ejector tool. Both phones also have pre-applied screen protectors right outside the box, which means you don't have to spend money to kind of do anything or buy anything to start using this phone. However, one thing I like is the fact that the Spark 40 Pro has a case that matches the color of the phone. It's a small touch that shows Tecno is paying attention to details. For design, both phones come with a matte plastic finish at the back. The Infinix Hot 60i feels a little more bulkier in the hand, and it has a dedicated AI button that is missing on the Tecno Spark 40. You can use it to summon the AI assistant Folax on the phone or map it out to carry out other functions. I have shown both phones to many people, and many people prefer how the Tecno Spark 40 looks ahead of the Infinix Hot 60i. Let me know in the comment which one of these phones look better to you. They both have an IP64 rating against water and dust, which is impressive for the price. The Spark 40 is slimmer, and both phones have a single camera at the back with an IR blaster. The IR blaster can be used to control electronics at home or in the office. They both have dual speakers, but the Hot 60i sounds better in my opinion. You also get a headphone port on both phones. The Tecno Spark 40 and Infinix Hot 60i both have a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, and you can't pick the fastest ones when it comes to unlocking both phones. Design is subjective, and what I like might not be what you like. I surely prefer the looks of the Tecno Spark 40, but Hot 60i might be what you prefer. The display on both the Infinix and Tecno phone is IPS LCD with 720p resolution and 120Hz refresh rate. On paper, they share a lot of similarities in terms of display. The major difference here between these two displays is the fact that the Tecno Spark 40 has a 6.67-inch display, while we have a 6.7-inch larger display on the Hot 60i. There are people out there that will prefer smaller size display, while others might want a bigger screen. Both phones have around 700 nits peak brightness, but in the settings, there is this outdoor booster on both phones that improves the visibility. Both phones support always on display despite having an LCD panel, and the bezels around the display are like the same size. You can just notice them, but for a phone that costs maybe under 150,000, you expect to see this type of bezels. The experience while watching videos or playing games is quite similar, and you won't even know which display is bigger when you kind of place them side by side. The display is a tie for me, and you can't really separate them in any way, unless the only basis for making the choice in terms of display is which one is larger. In that case, the Hot 60i is larger than the Tecno Spark 40. Now, there is one feature you won't find on other Android phones, and that's the ability to make free Wi-Fi calls using UltraLink on the Hot 60i and FreeLink on the Tecno Spark 40. These are basically the same feature but branded differently. They let you call other Infinix or Tecno phones for free using Wi-Fi. You don't need a SIM card or airtime. It only works within a short range of around 50 meters, and both phones must have the feature enabled before you set up this call. But once it's set up, the connection is fast and reliable. I tested the UltraLink on the Hot 60i and the FreeLink on the Spark 40, and they worked seamlessly. It's a cool feature for people living in the same house or working in the same office, especially in areas where mobile connectivity are kind of bad. You can download the FreeLink or UltraLink app from the Play Store or use them on other Android brands. It's an exclusive feature to Tecno and Infinix phones, and it must be like kind of the latest ones, and that makes it one of those small but valuable features that people might overlook. Both phones are powered by the MediaTek Helio G81 chipset. It's not the fastest chip out there, and is the same chip that was on last year's Hot 50i. On the Spark 30, we had the Helio G81, so it feels like a slight downgrade on Tecno's side. But honestly, everyday performance is decent. Apps open up with a little delay, but once they are open, things run fine. You can do usual social media, messaging, calls, and even light gaming. Just don't expect anything too crazy. These phones are not made for serious gaming or heavy multitasking. Both phones come with 4GB RAM and 128GB storage space on the base model. You can go for up to 6 or 8GB RAM if you want more performance. They also support memory expansion with up to 1TB using the dedicated memory card slot on both phones. Now the software experience is also very similar. The Hot 60i runs on Android 15 with XOS 15.1, while the Spark 40 runs on Android 14 with iOS 15. Animations are smooth on both phones. There are pre-installed apps, but you can uninstall most of them. Both brands are improving their software little by little. In terms of software, the Tecno Spark 40 can actually do split screen, but that feature is not available on the Infinix Hot 60i. I don't know why, but I know there are a lot of you that like that feature, so you can just know. Now in terms of AI features, this is where things get really interesting. On the Hot 60i, there is a dedicated Infinix AI section in the settings. You get tools like Document Assistant, a sketch to image tool, and an AI note app that helps you draw and generate ideas. Folax, the voice assistant, is powered by DeepSeek R1 and can give you more accurate answers. On the Spark 40, there is a Tecno AI section too. You get Ella, the voice assistant, but also powered by DeepSeek R1. But what stands out are the AI features inside the gallery. There's an AI image eraser and AI image extender. You can remove unwanted parts of your photo or expand the size of a picture. These are impressive tools to have at this price. I'm not even joking. There is also writing assistant that corrects your grammar and summarizes your content. Very useful for students and casual users. In terms of AI, it depends on what you really want, as both the Infinix Hot 60i and Tecno Spark 40 don't share the same set of AI features. For me, I like what is in the gallery for Tecno, and maybe other people might not like it. They might be okay with the sketch to image feature on the Hot 60i. Both phones have a 50MP main camera at the back. In fact, both phones have just a single lens at the back with an 8MP selfie camera up front. For pictures, it will be difficult to pick one over the other, and overall, the Hot 60i and Spark 40 are not camera-centric phones. The color you get from both pictures are quite close, and unless you are nitpicking the photos, it will be difficult to say which one of them snap better photos. The post-processing on the pictures, as you can see, is similar. Even skin tones look kind of the same. With selfie, you can see that both devices are really close. You can also shoot 2K videos at 60 frames per second on both the Spark 40 and Infinix Hot 60i. None of the videos have any form of stability when you are shooting videos. Now, the Infinix Hot 60i comes with a 5160mAh battery, while we have 5200mAh battery on the Tecno Spark 40. They both come with a 45W charger and take slightly over an hour to charge from 0 to 100. In terms of battery life, I will say it's a tie, and battery is one of the best features on both the Infinix and Tecno phone. You can't really get any phone that charges faster than these two, around 150,000 naira. Both the Spark 40 and Hot 60i come with the same processor, same RAM and storage option, same 50MP camera, and even the same 120Hz 720p display. Battery life is also the same, max brightness is also the same, but when you use both phones for a while, the difference starts to show. The Hot 60i brings a slightly more rugged design, a remarkable AI button, and better software optimization, especially when it comes to battery. It feels solid and dependable. The Spark 40, on the other hand, feels more refined. The design is lighter and more comfortable to hold. The camera output is more consistent, and the software feels a little more polished with better AI features, especially in the gallery. At the end of the day, they are both solid picks, but if I had to choose one, I would go with the Tecno Spark 40. Not because it smiles ahead, but because it just does a few things better without asking for more money. Let me know in the comment which one are you going to go for, and don't forget to subscribe. The Spark 40 Pro and Pro Plus comparison are coming next, and I'm sure you don't want to miss that.